Welcome to this month's edition of OSU Extension Monthly. Although actually we're about in the middle of May here, but we're going to talk today about a topic called gardening to grilling. If you haven't gotten your grill out yet and cleaned it up, now is the time to do that. Because soon there will be fresh produce coming out from your garden, from the farmer's market, or even from roadside stands. We don't have a lot of those out here, but where I grew up in southeastern Oklahoma, there were a lot of roadside stands where you could buy all kinds of fresh produce. Grilling is a process that will bring out the flavor of fresh vegetables. A lot of people like grilled vegetables, but they may not like them cooked other ways, like steamed or baked or what have you. According to the USDA's dietary guideline for Americans, the average person really does need to eat anywhere from 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Of course, that means more vegetables than fruit. And of course, if you're like me, some days I want to eat more fruit than I do vegetables, but it's very important that we eat our vegetables. And grilling our vegetables is a great way to incorporate them into our diet. It also adds tons of flavor without adding extra calories. And we're all concerned about those extra calories. What happens when you're grilling vegetables is that the heat from the grill caramelizes the sugar that's in the vegetables. And that's probably why most of us really like the grilled vegetables, because they do taste really, really good. If you grill on a charcoal grill, you're going to get some smoky flavor to your vegetables. And for men who like that smoky flavor, and I shouldn't just say men because I like it too, that smoky flavor, you'll get that with charcoal, whereas you won't get it with a gas grill or an electric grill. There are many vegetables that grill very, very well. But there are some that you just cannot grill, and those are the ones that have a high water content, like cucumbers, celery, lettuce, except you can grill romaine lettuce. What's some other ones that maybe? Anything that's leafy green, you probably can't grill on a grill. And I say that, but then kale is one of those leafy green type vegetables that actually you can grill on the grill. Asparagus, and I know this may not look the right color because of our background here, it's one of my favorite vegetables to eat on the grill. I like asparagus anyway, no matter how it's cooked. But I think my favorite way is to grill it on the grill. And it's very simple. You just put some olive oil on it and some salt and pepper. That's all I need on it. And it really tasted wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Squash, yellow squash, or even zucchini squash, which may look funny here, but they're both very conducive to grilling. With these squashes, you want to cut them in such a way that you have a great level, long surface to grill on. So as you may notice here, I have cut these, and so when you cut them, you want to have a large surface. Put some type of dressing, like an Italian dressing or some different seasoning, and it'll be really, really yummy. It's important when you're cutting vegetables that you try to cut them as equal in size as you can so that they grill consistently. Peppers are also a great choice with your grill. Any kind of pepper though. This happens to be a bell pepper, but you can grill poblano or jalapeno. Oh, bacon wrapped stuffed jalapenos. I had them last night. They're pretty awesome. Grilling vegetables really isn't rocket science. You just start with a clean grill, and you, of course, wash your vegetables just like you would any time that you're going to use those. If you are grilling harder root vegetables like potatoes or like a carrot, you're going to want to maybe cook them a little bit inside in the microwave so that they don't take so long on the grill. A potato like this sweet potato right here will take as long as 45 minutes to an hour to cook out on the grill. You may not have that much time. So you can speed it up by putting it in the grill and cooking it a little bit. You want to spray your grill with a cooking spray so that the vegetables will not stick. Of course, if you use a type of olive oil on them, and there's lots of different types of olive oil out there. This one right here is a Chipotle style olive oil, so check it out. You might like it. Of course, when I talk about spraying your grill or using oil, spraying your grill, I want to caution you that you never spray a lit grill because it may cause a fire. One of the things that you can do with your vegetables is to marinate them in some type of a marinade, and it makes them easier to turn on your grill as well as to not stick to the grill, because if your vegetables stick, that's not very much fun. Okay. For food safety purposes, if you're using a marinade, you only use it for those vegetables. For example, let's say I marinate my squash and I put it on the grill, or I marinated my meat and I put it on the grill, and then later I want to marinate my vegetables. I don't put the vegetables in the marinade that had the meat in it, because we can cause cross-contamination. The same is true with different vegetables. If you don't get them really good and clean, you may cause some food safety issues there. Okay. If you use a sugar-based marinade, you're probably going to burn your vegetables, and if you're like me, I don't want them burnt. So stay away from those sweet types of marinades. Or if you do wish to use them, make sure that you grill your vegetables for a while and then brush them on right at the end so that they don't burn. Also, it's important to realize that not all vegetables, and I think you know this, will not cook the same because of their different sizes, etc. So you, again, may just want to steam those things like carrots and potatoes, even my cabbage here, which is a great cooked out on the grill. You may want to microwave them just for a little bit before you put them on the grill. One of my favorite things to do with vegetables is to make a kebab with them. And you take skewers, there's metal skewers and wooden skewers. With the wooden ones, you need to make sure that you don't catch them on fire on the grill by soaking them in water for about an hour before you start the grilling. If you don't do that, you're probably going to have a flare-up and you're not going to be happy with your produce. Also, when you put the vegetables on the skewer, you want to have them as equal in size as possible. But if you use something like cubed potatoes or something, you may want to cook them just a little bit beforehand so that they will also cook at the same rate that the other vegetables that are on your grill. Grilled vegetables like summer squash often retain their texture more than they will if they're cooked in another way. And that is something that enhances their palatability to your children, because if your children may not like steamed squash, but they will eat it up if you grill it. Maybe not, but the likelihood is higher. You want to start your vegetables out on the grill over a medium heat or medium coals that glow. They have the gray covering on them. What you're wanting to do is to sear the skin. And you probably will need to turn your vegetables every minute, 2 minutes. Most vegetables don't take a terribly long time to grill. You put your squash on there and it's going to be ready in about 3 to 4 to 5 minutes. So you have to stay right there and watch it. If you don't, you're going to have some problems. Okay, the easiest way to tell if your produce is done on the grill, of course, is just take a knife or a skewer and stick it in there, and it needs to be tender. And again, it happens faster than you may realize. At this time, I'm going to turn this part of the program over to Katie Hughes, our ag educator. And Katie is going to demonstrate how to prepare a bell pepper and a tomato for the grill.
And like Arlene said, I will be demonstrating the best way to grill a bell pepper, which I have. You want to remove the top, bottom, and core from the bell pepper. And then you're going to cut the pepper in half from top to bottom. As you can see, I'm going to remove the core and everything like that. So it should look like that. And it's going to make about 2 flat rectangles that can be grilled with the skin side down. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the grill. And while that is cooking, and Ashley is keeping an eye on it so we don't burn it, I will also prepare some tomatoes for the grill. I will slice this already washed tomato in half lengthwise. And the spices I will use are fresh oregano, or you can use dry oregano and some lemon pepper. Since the grill has already been sprayed with cooking oil, so I'm going to place the tomato on the grill with the cut side down for about 4 to 5 minutes. And like I said earlier, you can use some lemon pepper as well as the dry oregano. And you just put that on the tomato, and you're going to place it on the grill with the cut side down for about 4 to 5 minutes. And now it's going to be Ashley's turn to talk about more things about vegetables.
Today I'm going to talk to you about how healthy vegetables are. We should all increase our vegetable intake just to stay healthy. The amount all depends on what our body needs, how much we eat. Our body uses calories to go. If we don't get enough calories, we have nowhere to go. The amount of calories your body needs depends on your age, your sex, and how much physical activity. If you're more active, you're more likely to eat more food or require more calories than you do if you're less active. Vegetables are a great way to get those calories needed because they contain essential vitamins, nutrients, and minerals, your daily fiber that your body needs. Your body needs those to, like I said, to give you energy, to help fight off chronic diseases, and even cancers. Some of the diseases, believe it or not, if you don't eat enough vegetables, are heart disease. The vegetables have potassium and sodium in it that help your heart pump and all your blood vessels go, ooh, that looks really good. Then there's gastrointestinal distress, which if anybody knows the job of fiber, that's what, if you don't get enough fiber, your stomach doesn't agree and it just causes you very uncomfortable distress. Remember, if you ever hear the word scurvy, it's because of lack of vitamin C. Most of the pirates or sailors from the New World or Old Land to the New World got scurvy. That's because they lacked vegetables. All they ate was meat, or cured meat, and raw or boiled eggs. So scurvy is caused because of a lack of vitamin C. In order to get that vitamin C, eat a good healthy vegetable or a chunk of orange. You can also be anemia, which is your body is lacking lactic acid in your muscles, causing them to strain and hurt when you move. Believe it or not, lack of vitamin can cause abnormal bleeding. If you don't have, or vegetables have a vitamin K, which helps your blood clot. And without the vitamin K in your body, your blood is just going to bleed. And especially if you're on blood thinners, it's good to get that vitamin K so it helps you stop bleeding. So it also helps against some cancers. Carrots especially have a beta carotene in them, which help fight against your body fight against radical forms of harmful cellular structures to stop that cancer. So if you eat more carrots or any other vegetable that holds beta carotene, it's really good for your body. Grilling is a good way to gather your friends, your family, and to share your bountiful harvest. If you garden, everybody loves to come and go grilling. It's a good way to show your products of the year or the summer and all your hard work. It's also a good way to trick your body into eating vegetable and being more healthy about it. See, if you have really good food in front of you, you're more likely to eat it versus a raw tomato. I mean, it's pretty simple. So grilling is a good way to stay healthy, have a good meal, and have lots of family fun. I'm going to turn it over to Arlene to tell us how good we did with our grilling.
Well, we've been talking today about grilling those vegetables, but we got to grow them first before we can grill them. As I said, you can get them from a farmer's market or a roadside stand or even pick them up at the grocery store. But they will taste so much fresher and so much better if you actually grow them yourself. You can grow a grilling garden in as much as a 4 by 4 foot garden space. How? Well, let me tell you how. You can put into that garden, let me see here, I've got to look at it. You can put in one area 1 eggplant and 1 summer squash. You're going to need to cage or stake your eggplant. You can plant either zucchini, yellow squash, straight squash, scallop squash, or some type of squash. That's going to go in about 1/2 of your bed. Your second half of the bed is where you're going to put your tomatoes. And truthfully, for grilling purposes and a grilling garden, you're probably going to grow the meatier types of tomatoes. We're going to have a program on about a week from on the 22nd of this month of May on a tomato growing crash course here at the Extension office. It'll start at 6 o'clock. And Katie, who you saw earlier, and myself and Mary Long are going to be putting on that program. So we would encourage you to come out and see what all we can learn about growing tomatoes. But obviously the little cherry tomatoes probably are a good thing to put into your grilling garden. Also, you'll want to put some bell peppers in there. And with that, you can add some onions. And you've got yourself a grilling garden. With the onions, you're going to want to put in about 24 to 36 onions. Again, only 1 bell pepper, 1 cherry tomato, 1 type of squash, or 2 if you want to, and 1 eggplant. And with that garden, you can grill vegetables all summer long. Other things that you can grow in a garden are your herbs. And herbs are really good to have when you're doing a barbecue. Some of the things that really add to your grilled vegetables are things like basil, And again, basil is green. I'm not sure what color this is going to be in the TV show, but basil, fresh basil, is always wonderful to use. Also fresh parsley, fresh chives, any of those things. Of course, you do not have to use fresh. If you don't want to grow them, you can buy them in the supermarket or use dried. Some of the flavors that you might want to plant in a grilling garden will include sage, which is really good. It is a small evergreen type plant. It grows 2 feet tall, and it's really easy to grow, and it's also sage is really good on meats, but they also can be used in rubs that you might put on your vegetables. Oregano is another herb that you might grow. It is a vegetable that will give you an Italian flavor to your grilled vegetables. And they don't grow very tall, 8 to 10 inches in height. And you can even put them around the base of your garden, and they won't take up that much room. Thyme is another herb that you might want to grow. It is a type of ground cover that we can grow. It's really short, 4 to 6 inches tall is all that it gets. And it really is a beautiful plant to have in any garden. You can use it as an edging around your garden. And there are different varieties of thyme, and the different varieties offer different flavors. So you may want to experiment with and see what you can find. Again, basil. All of these herbs that I've been talking about are perennials. That means once you plant them, they'll come back. Mint's another one that I have in my garden. Basil, though, is one that you will have to plant every year. It doesn't come back every year, so you'll have to renew it every year. You may even want to grow it in a pot rather than in your garden. Cayenne peppers, red pepper flake, all of those things are really tasty on vegetables. You just want to be careful that you don't get too much on your vegetables. You may want to plant jalapenos so you can make those poppers I was talking about earlier. Another thing you can grow is horseradish. I know a lot of people, myself included, really think that horseradish is a little strong, but I do know that there are some people who enjoy that flavor, and you certainly can make some things and put on to your vegetables. Okay. You also would want to have some garlic. I said onions earlier, but garlic. Garlic salt, garlic powder, all of those things would be very tasty on your vegetable. I was in the supermarket yesterday and I found this roasted garlic powder. Never used it before, but I'm going to try it on some of the vegetables that we'll be grilling. One of the programs that I will have is a garden to grilling program. That'll be on the May 30th here at the Extension office at 1:30 p.m. We will have a demonstration on grilling vegetables and a program on the garden to grilling. We'll go in more details than what we've talked about today. That program will then be repeated at 6 p.m. in the Hooker City Park. And so if you like an evening program in the park, come to Hooker at 6 o'clock on May the 30th, and we'll be talking about growing gardens and grilling the vegetables from those gardens. Again, the cherry tomatoes, you want the dwarf type ones that won't grow really big or tall for you. So something like a patio princess variety would be very appropriate for a grilling garden. You also would like to plant those squashes, the zucchini. We've got our squash done here. It looks yummy. I don't know if you can see the grill marks on it, but I'm ready to eat this. It looks awesome. Smells great. Of course, I like squash any way I can get squash, but grilled is really tasty. Our potato here is not doing very well because it's going to take a long time. I did not parboil this, which I should have done, so I may end up after the program here today taking it and putting it in the microwave and then grilling it. Again, we've got Katie's pepper here. Don't have a lot of grill marks on it, but it's getting soft and tender. I think that grilled peppers are just wonderful. Eggplant. A lot of people don't necessarily like eggplant, but if you've never tried it grilled, you may like it that way. I didn't purchase an eggplant for the program here today, but I think I'm going to purchase one. I want to grow them. I'm going to purchase one and try it out and see. I will rub it with some olive oil and some herbs, and I will pop it on the grill and try it out. We have several different items here on our table that we use in a grilling thing, so I'd like to cover a few of those today. You can actually just use a seasoning salt on your oil, on your vegetables, and it will really be very tasty. If you don't want to buy a whole bunch of seasonings and spices and fresh herbs and those types of things, you certainly can get by with just using a seasoning salt or just regular salt. I like my asparagus, I put olive oil on it, and then I just put regular table salt on there, and then some cracked black pepper. And it's really good. My husband, who doesn't like many vegetables, really does enjoy all of the vegetables that we grill out on the grill. And he's learning to like a lot of things. Something I haven't tried yet that I want to is grilled cauliflower. Cauliflower is kind of a hot topic in the food industry right now. They're making cauliflower flour and doing all kinds of things with cauliflower. So you might want to try it out on the grill when you're out there this summer grilling. Of course, always remember that food safety is so important that we don't make someone ill from our cooking process. So make sure that you wash your hands, that you wash the vegetables really good. There are some products out on the market called, I think it's vegetable wash or something like that. The OSU Extension Office does not recommend that you purchase that to wash your vegetables, because just good, clean, running water will do just fine. We'd love to see you stop in and come by the OSU Extension Office. We have a lot of resources that we can make available to you. If you've got tree problems, Katie can come out and check out your trees, see what's going on. If you need a soil sample to plant that garden, we can take your soil sample in and send it off and get results back. So there's a lot of things that we can do here at the Texas County OSU Extension Service. We are provided by your county government as a resource to you. And so come in and see us and see what we can do for you.